It's been 75 days since I created my most viral planter to date, my herb planter here in this steel tub. So I wanted to give you an update. As soon as I set it up and I mentioned the word mint in a container with other herbs, most of the internet stressed out. And so I wanted to relieve you of stress, give you an update on how things are going, tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and also do my first big harvest from this container. I have done a few cuts from the container to date, but today I'm really going to dive in and see all that I can pull. So a couple quick updates. In the video, I put basil in the center, and everyone said basil has different watering needs and it's never going to survive alongside rosemary. Well, just a little background on the planting idea there. The center of the bed is going to be a lot wetter than the edge of the bed. So the idea is you put annual herbs in the center. Those are going to be able to withstand, more water. And then the ones on the outside can dry out a lot faster. So the basil was actually doing really well until I left the planter outside and our temps dropped under 20. I actually wasn't home. It was during spring break, and I came back to see the basil completely dead. So it didn't die from bad watering, it died from cold. So we'll try again when the weather warms up. But what I replaced it with were 3 annual herbs that love the cool season. So we have dill, parsley, and cilantro, and as you can see, they are loving life right now. Now, after I made the video, I was so surprised by everyone's stress about mint that I decided to really up the ante and add one more mint plant to the planter. So I actually now have 3 in here, and as you can see, they are very happy, just as you guys predicted. But I'm going to show you how I'm going to tend them to make sure that they don't take over the whole container. Last up, what else did I change? I added some chives to this container. So I have 2 chive plants in here. I also added some little chamomile starts. So I thought that it'd be really fun to have some chamomile growing up here and flowering. I thought that'd be so pretty. And then I started from seed earlier this year. I also added a sage plant from the nursery. It's flowering, so I'm going to pinch that flower off. But it's looking pretty good in here. And then I did lose 1 rosemary, and I'm going to show you kind of the remnants of it here. It's kind of turning brown. So this, I'm not sure if it happened because of too much water, but I just wanted, fully transparent. So I don't know if you can even see it here. It's just right here on the edge. There's 1 little green sprig left, but it isn't looking too happy. So I'm just, kind of letting it sit there until maybe it just completely dies. I'm still hopeful. So the first thing I'm going to do is just cut off these dead rosemary branches and see if this 1 green rosemary branch will bring it back to life. We'll see what happens. So those are the things that have happened off camera. So now let's talk about tending this thing. So we've got the thyme is really starting to take off. We've got this thyme and this thyme plant. I just cut off the flowers off of this sage. You can use the flowers. I'm cutting the flowers off so that the plant continues to grow leaves instead of going to seed. And the first thing I'm going to harvest from here is going to be my mint. So I know that mint creates horizontal, growths. So I can actually probably, if I wanted to, I could even divide the mint right now. But what I am going to do is just start taking some harvest. So I'm going to cut down pretty low to right above the lowest leaf node. And I'm cutting on the edge. So my main goal here is to kind of keep the plant, reined back and on the edge. So what I want this to do is grow over the edge rather than toward the center. So I'm going to prune it in that direction. Oh, I also added some garlic here, as you can see. I just started having fun with it when people were stressing about me having so many plants in 1 little container. I thought, let's really let me show you really what's possible. So there's the first mint harvest from the first plant. Now I'm going to do this for the other 2 plants as well. And once I do that, this will kind of clear out the center space for the cilantro, the dill, and the parsley, which I want to be growing anyway. and doing their thing, because these will not last, you know, through the whole summer. It's going to be too hot in the middle of the summer to get lots of dill and cilantro. So I'm going to cut back here. So I'll do this on one more plant. You can see how full this thing is. It's so pretty, right? I love mint. Everybody was like, in the comments, they were like, it's, you know, it's invasive. It's a weed. And I'm like, it's a lovely weed, right? Like, what do they say about weeds? Weeds are just flowers you haven't gotten to know yet. I mean, I love it. I could put mint in every single one of my drinks, like every day of my life. So even if this does turn into a mint container, I won't be sad about it. Other people were worried that like it affects the growth of the other herbs around them. But I don't know if you can tell, but right now I think this looks pretty darn good, right? Like everything's really healthy together. All right, so now that I've got my mint harvest, then I can start to harvest from my other plants. So I've got a sprig of rosemary I can harvest. I can harvest off the top of the cilantro, dill, and parsley. I can even harvest some chives and rosemary and sage. Thyme as well. Really, everything can be cut just the way I just cut this mint. So I hope this encourages you that it is totally okay to plant all of your herbs together. In fact, if you can see from here, I think all these herbs look really happy. In fact, happier than the herbs that I try to grow in pots and planters all by themselves. So this is just the beginning of many harvests that I'm going to pull from this container throughout the season. Stay tuned. I'll keep showing you how the container does and if the mint in fact does take over. And we'll see if maybe I can even squeeze some more herb plants inside this planter as well. You can learn more about growing your own herbs at gardenary.com. We in fact have a whole course that teaches you how to build your own herb garden and to grow a year-round supply of herbs. So stay tuned for that. Check us out at gardenary.com. And thank you so much for watching and for, you know, all your questions and thoughts about my viral herb planter. I'll see you next time.